Black beers is a Batmobile. Pouring up, I cracked the seal. For the streets, but I need me a meal. I done seen too much, now I can feel. Stack of money.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai. Thank you once again for tuning into another video, man. Shout out notifications squad. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to smash that like button. In today's video, we're going to be doing a vocal effect similar to NBA YoungBoy, Polo G, Lil Durk. You get the idea. I like NBA sound, definitely kind of the continuation of the old school Birdman era. Shout out Birdman and Manny Fresh. That was always a really cool era to listen into. But yeah, man, definitely make sure to stick around if you're into that. Definitely check the links below for my vocal recording course, vocal mixing course, and vocal enhancer, all for FL Studio, to help you become a better engineer. With that being said, let's hop on the computer, squad up. All right, let's get straight into it. So as you can see, we got our vocal chain right here. Lots of cool stuff we'll run through. We've got the track How I've Been, which I quite like. So yeah, man, we'll play the track we have, remix, and then we will break down everything. Let's get it.
Instead you telling me I'm dead. Think I'm Superman up in it, bitch. Let them know how I feel. So much weight up on my shoulder, bitch, like they don't know how I feel. 100, I keep it real. Money and the power still. Black beers is a Batmobile. Pouring up, I cracked the seal. For the streets, but I need me a meal. I done seen too much, now I can feel. Stack of money, staying on the low, that's how I've been. Calling out my bro, and you know it's the champion. Prime is stacking up, so you know I had to deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. If you ain't tryna keep it with it, baby, I ain't tryna deal with you. You know that I'm counting money and working on myself.
So yeah, man, there you go, pretty cool. Yeah, man, we'll pretty much break down what we have. So obviously, if we run through the elements that we have in the mix, we've got obviously our beat, we've got our main vocal, we've got a melodic doubler this time around, and then a melodic sing channel, and then 2 background channels, just to really help kind of emphasize things. I've really worked hard to make sure that these aren't really doubles or background vocals, but more so just kind of add this weight to the vocal sound. So if I solo these out, you can kind of hear they sound pretty stupid alone. But, mix that together with the main vocal.
Yeah. Think I'm Superman up in it, bitch. Let them know how I feel. So much weight up on my shoulder.
You can hear it definitely adds like a nice kind of telephonic thing on these sides. But yeah, man, obviously over here we've got the melodic sing. That's cool. That's going to help you with more kind of atmospheric tracks, little Durk type tracks and that kind of thing. And then over here we've got the melodic double.
So much weight up on my shoulder, bitch, like they don't know how I feel. Keep it real. Power still.
And that obviously you can do more, PNB rock type tracks and that kind of thing. So lots of cool stuff going on. Obviously our main vocal.
So much weight up.
And it's aggressive, it's upfront, it's modern. So yeah, man, vocal chains, let's get straight into it. So obviously for those who are new to the template format, as you know, if you were to purchase this, you get your microphone input. So boom, we're on SSL4. Yo, we've got a cool microphone input right there. I don't want to get the feedback and whatnot. But yeah, you get the idea that you add your microphone, and then all of the green channels are different vocal chains that you can run your microphone into. So you would be able to then hold control, left click, boom, and then you can now listen to different types of vocal chains. Obviously these 2 main vocals are the same. What I've done this time around, we've got some dead channels and stuff there. But what we do with these main vocal channels is I provided 2 simply because of the fact that I don't want the Autotune to overlap. Sometimes the Autotune can tend to overlap if I kind of look for certain sections. A lot of people ask me, how do we not make the Autotune overlap? So as you can see right there, those 2 words overlap. Those 2 words overlap a little bit. And at times you can definitely hear, the Autotune kind of not be able to keep up. So if I just find a really good example right here, I'm just trying to find one where it really struggles to keep up. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so as you can see right there, there's like a whole word over here in red that you can see that overlaps this one, right? So what I did was I would record this one into channel 8, let's say, right? And then I'd record the next line into channel 7. Doesn't seem like I did that, but you get the idea. You would then be able to kind of avoid having the Autotune double up. So really cool. So kind of to start it off with, or kind of start things off with, obviously duplicate Autotune, so I won't run through the other one, but and then this we can get rid of. A lot of people ask me why add NoiseGate. Only add a NoiseGate if you have noise vocals. Okay, it's not a necessity. As you can see this time around, I've kind of cleaned up my setup so I have a lot less noise going on in the system. You can clean up your noise by learning how to gain stage properly, getting cleaner sounding XLR cables, not having your computer running at fan full speed if you can control that, etc, etc. But yeah, man, this Autotune is obviously generic. You can choose whatever you like for Autotune. I personally like, you know, something between 14, 7, 4 maybe for more extreme sound. And at times I will use the Young Thug trick, which is to turn the natural vibrato down to -12 and then turn this targeting ignores vibrato, and you get this really cool, interesting thing that happens. But I use that more for punk rap, more sing-song stuff. Well, I guess this is more sing-song, but in this instance it sounded better. So you see how I'm not really fixed to an Autotune sound. It's more so how you project your voice. So there you go. Obviously this is synchronized to the actual song. A really cool tool you can purchase to kind of figure out the scale of the song is to get this Hornet song key. I think you could probably still downgrade to MK2. This is the best version in my opinion. But yeah, man. So after that, we send both of these into our main vocal chain. Okay, now main vocal chain, we've got a lot of cool stuff going on. So what we have ready is we've got our first section right here in purple. Let me just keep this one the same color. Everything in purple is going to be saturation, kind of adding a nice analog emulation sound to our vocals. And what we have going on, I'll kind of group things by the 3 or whatever. We've got these 3 plugins, Farai's Vocal Enhancer. Definitely check that out in the description. Such a beautiful thing that I made right here. Really cool, really has a sound. We start off with the Transaction plugin, and then this is going to add a bit of what we're going for here, a bit of transistor transformer sound. It's really just adding a little bit of distortion to our vocal. After that, then we just turn up the input. So the more you turn up the input, the more it distorts. So once we've done that, we run that into a bus color 4, and this is emulating a kind of line amplifier. So for those who don't know what a line amplifier is, we've got one on the console right here. The more you turn it up, the more the volume increases, but the more kind of distortion we get. So that's a really cool way to add a bit of kind of punch to your vocals without having to compress or EQ. It's kind of like free EQ and compression, really. Really fills out the sound. So we do that. We can turn, this is the Air Windows bus color 4, and we've got all these different flavors, and each one is going to sound a bit different, so definitely see what works for you. And then I've obviously just turned down the wet and dry, dry meaning the original signal, wet meaning the affected distortion signal. Really cool. And then from there on out, we run that into Farai's Vocal Enhancer. So if I was to turn off these, you can kind of hear the difference. Just find a different part with the drums.
Back of money staying on the low, that's how I've been. Calling out my bro, and you know he's the champion.
Sounds about 70% there. Once I add everything else.
Back of money staying on the low, that's how I've been. Calling out my bro, and you know he's the champion.
It even takes my Neumann mic preamp and makes it sound more expensive. And you definitely get that tone going with the Farai's Vocal Enhancer. So definitely check that out. These 2 plugins are free. So definitely check those out. Awesome stuff. After that, man, obviously while I'm recording, a lot of people ask, you know, what do I record with? And I'll generally be, as I say, monitoring, right? Not recording into it, not recording the signal, just monitoring, just listening. I'll generally have this EQ on, and then I'll generally just have these 2 bands on. I usually zero these out so that I really focus on making sure my microphone position is set up right. I want to get about 50% of the vocal, 60-70% of the vocal tone down during the recording stage. I don't want to have to create a tone. All we want to do when mixing is kind of emphasize our tone. So, you know, that's what I'm doing. I do a nice little high pass filter, and then I do a little bit of SSL compression. Really cool. This is actually available on SSL for $5 a month. You also get the bus compressor, so that's really cool. You can check that out if you do want a really clean EQ. But then again, you could just buy the Waves one, which is like constantly on sale, so you can check that out as well. But yeah, just basic EQ, getting rid of a bit of the kind of low mids, boosting a little bit on 3K, boosting a little bit at 8K. Beautiful stuff. After that, man, we do a little bit of FL EQ. So for those using FL 20.9, you'll get a lot more kind of graphic view of what's going on. I prefer 20.5. That's a version that I'm using right here. It runs more stable. It's kind of got all the features I want. I don't want to change. But really, all I did in this instance was just tuck away some of the nasty stuff around, you know, 200 up to around 500, and that's generally, you know, where rap vocals don't sound well, don't sound good, especially if you've recorded good. Then it's just going to be dealing with this, and then obviously getting rid of a bit more weight out of the vocal, and then just getting rid of frequencies I don't like. And you know, really cool. Definitely gets you the sound you want. Definitely spend quite a few minutes EQing. You're gonna get a really nice sound. So after that, man, this is a really cool EQ. I showed this on my Instagram story yesterday. Definitely check me out there. But this is just the Air Windows Purest Air. This is also free, and basically it's just a treble boost, okay? But you can tone back the wet and dry, and then you can overcrank the boost, and you get this really cool hi-fi kind of treble boost. So if I was to turn this off,
Back of money staying on the low, that's how I've been. Calling out my bro,
again, something is missing, right?
Back of money staying on the low, that's how I've been.
Kind of sizzles and sizzles and distorts the vocal. So really cool. After that, this is a plugin you saw me pull up earlier, the Waves C4 multiband or multiband compressor, and really all this does is kind of tones down parts of the sound, right? In this case, a vocal, based on how you like. So as you can see, I've got it set up like this, and when you see that yellow line going down, it's kind of just massaging that segment of the vocal. So over here we've got the bass of the vocal. It's similar to an EQ. We've got the mids, and then we've got the higher mids and treble. And funny enough, all I did was actually pull up the default preset, and then I just tweaked it a little bit, and I was really happy with what it sounded like. After that, again, I just used a bit more SSL EQ. The way that I've been mixing my records these days when I'm mixing analog is I'll generally do SSL EQ on my console right here, and then I will put it back in the box and do a little bit more SSL EQ on a group or bus or something like that. So I'm kind of emulating that workflow to where I'm doing some toning, and then again I'm just doing some finalization with a nice different EQ. And this one sounds a bit cleaner, a bit more kind of airy than the SSL native. I quite like this one for the basic toning, this one just to, you know, kind of poke things out a little bit. In this case, I was just reducing again some of the 600 hertz and then some of the 197 and below, kind of tucking that away, getting rid of some of the treble with the low pass filter. Nothing crazy, no compression or anything. It's really cool. After that, you know, kind of towards the end of the mix, I was finding that the vocal was still popping out too much, and I thought, what could I use to get A, more treble out of the track, and then B, a bit more aggression out of the track, and also walk away with that kind of compression glue. And I thought the RVox is perfect for that, right? So we're using 4 on the compressor. We're not actually doing 4 dB of compression, 1.7 dB. It's showing right there, and then I just turned down the gain as much as necessary, and that really helps to glue the vocal together, especially for these types of tracks where you've got this kind of piano ballad type beat. Really cool.
Back of money staying on the low, that's how I've been. Calling out my bro, and you know he's still trapping. Problems stacking up, so you
can kind of hear it's fluctuating a bit too much.
Back of money staying on the low, that's how I've been. Calling out my bro, and
you know, that calling popped out earlier, but now it doesn't anymore. So excellent compressor. You can definitely hear it on the ear. So yeah, man. Or feel it more, so you're not really supposed to hear compression. But yeah, man, after that, this is something I actually record with as well. So these two are the only plugins I record with. This air flanger just by now is just a cool good luck charm to make sure the mix goes good. But I like monitoring with it because it just does a tape thing. You know what I mean? Like said focus it, man. So yeah, there you go. Pretty sweet and simple. Again, on the vocal bus, just a little bit of this is the plugin you can get for $5 per month. And I just use that to glue together all of the vocals, and then I use an L1 at the end of the mix just to set the output level. Generally, I don't change this, so if you are a template user, don't change this. Learn how to kind of mix your track together using all of these, you know what I mean, different techniques, and that way you're kind of going to end up with consistent results. So important to have a template that works, right? And obviously, if you purchase many templates, as I know a lot of people do, you'll have all the different settings, and you can kind of, you know, choose and mix and match and that kind of thing. It's really cool, really versatile. So yeah, man, on the doubles, we'll kind of run through that. What are we sitting at? 14 minutes. Awesome stuff. Melodic Double, right?
So much weight up on my shoulder, bitch, like that I know.
As you know, if you watched a few of my doubler videos, I know somebody said, man, you're doing the same videos over and over. But the point I'm trying to get across when I do videos that are similar is that I want you to understand that you don't need some fancy secret technique or whatever to get a nice full sounding double, right? This is just something I wanted to tuck behind the mix. So if you listen in for this part,
so much weight up on my shoulder, bitch, like they don't know how I feel.
I just wanted to pop out and that I feel, you know what I mean? And all I've done again is Autotune this time, made it aggressive. This time made it more melodic, Young Thug style, as I said earlier, right? Sticking to the theory. And then I actually used a reverb into a flanger. And then using the reverb into the flanger is going to help kind of tone back the reverb so it modulates a little bit and doesn't kind of pass too long. The point of this wasn't to make it sound airy or melodic. As you hear, NBA's music is very upfront, very straightforward kind of sound. So yeah, man, all I did was that reverb, flanger, or flangers. Flanger, I call it a flanger. And then I just did a little bit of EQ just to kind of pop the highs out. And then over here we got the melodic sing, same thing, right? And this time around we're doing a bit more of a telephone effect style ad-lib or sing, and this helps. This really does sound distinctive to the rest of the track.
So much weight up on my shoulder, bitch, like they don't know how I feel.
It's right there in the back, and they don't know how I feel, just in a different kind of note. And all I've really done right there, again, you can add this as well. This is a really cool distortion.
So much weight up on my shoulder, bitch, like they don't know how I feel.
And you can turn it up if I was to turn it up.
So much weight up on my shoulder, bitch, like they don't know how I feel.
But I wanted to really focus on the main vocal. As I said, this type of music is storyteller music, so you want to make sure that main vocal is up front and it's telling the whole story. But yeah, nonetheless, compression, okay, hard compression, nice telephone effect, flangers, why am I off today? And then a bit of reverb, easy stuff. And then again with these backgrounds, as I said, you want to record them twice. Don't ever just copy paste, okay, that doesn't work. What you want to do is record them twice. And then there you can really get the emphasis and aggression. And that's just going to kind of pop out on the sides of the mix. You can obviously turn that up. But I'm really enjoying the Fruity compressor these days. It really sounds nice when you smash it. The way you smash it is just turn on the threshold, turn up the ratio, and then kind of turn up the output gain. It gets really nice sound. Really cool. A little bit of EQ, boom. Cool stuff. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I can show you in this video. We got the Hyperdrive Pack. Definitely check out the Hyperdrive Pack. This is my sound effects pack that I made, and we got all sorts of cool effects. Drank sound, reverse reverb, alien sound, and then if we mix that all together, that just really helps to emphasize your tracks and give them movement.
Black bears is the Batmobile, pouring up, I crack the seal. From the streets, but I need me.
And I mix them. I'm not using these effects. Don't think I've used them in a very long time. But you get the idea. I just drop them in the mix, turn up the stereo sound, and then just kind of put them in the mix, and they sound great. But yeah, man, definitely check out. Oh yeah, again, filter. So you know, obviously, I've added a filter to the song.
Think I'm Superman up in it, bitch. Let them know how I feel. Wait up.
But yeah, man, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure to smash like and subscribe. Check the link for this in the description. If you do not own all of the expensive Waves plugins, you can get a free VST version. It'll be labeled free VST version, and you'll be able to open it up. I always provide some really cool free VST options. Actually, funny enough, somewhere here I've got the new Ssq Eq, which is the upgrade. Let's see if it loads up, and it looks a lot better, and it actually has a bit more of a sound to it. So, you know, we're definitely getting closer to the awesome free sound. I don't mind going. The other day I did the punk rap sound with stock plugins, and it sounds cool. So yeah, man, definitely check that all out. You also get the installation video, so how to actually use everything, sweet and simple. But yeah, man, I'll check you next time. Stay well. Peace out.